187 at 5810 Murata Avenue. Homicide wants you over there. The coroner thinks the broad was whacked using the army morphine. Don't say anything, Roy. Just get over there.
I would answer to...
They won't even have Prince and he still confessed.
What's with that getup of yours anyway? I should start introducing us as Detective Earl, and this is my science teacher, Mr. Phelps.
Your interest in my appearance is starting to get me worrying.
Like it or not, we're a dysfunctional couple now. People judge me with you on my arm the same way they would a fat broad with a 5 o'clock shadow.
I really hope you're joking, Roy.
Hey,
I lost myself a little bit.
I said all fair in love and war.
Where's the exit? Ah, it's here. No, I'm too dumb for this. This is too big. I'm sorry to tell you.
You're behind the wheel.
Seem distracted. We recovered the morphine. Some of it might be unaccounted for, so what? That's life. We did our job.
Life, it's
Closing
life.
one case opens another.
Do you have any idea what is really going on while we're wasting our time following this stuff?
Are you going to tell me?
The deals being done right now will change the face of LA forever, and we're wasting our time on some hump.
Someone's little girl.
Visit the morgue at the end of the month when the John and Jane Does are cremated. Their percentages. The odds for and against lightning striking.
Second floor, apartment 6, in the back.
Thanks. Bukowski, you made homicide.
That I did. Good to see you, Phelps.
You two want a hug? Or can we get on with this?
Relax, Rusty.
26 years old, fashion model. Found in the tub by the cleaning lady, Mrs. Reynoldson. She called it in.
We heard Carruthers thinks...
Carruthers likes to make work for people. Overdose of sleeping pills, falls asleep in the tub, rest in peace, case closed.
Here, here. Mal is 100% that it's murder.
Do you mind if I take a look around?
Sure. Go right ahead.
Kidding.
Phelps?
Mal, we've had a look around. Rusty thinks it's a waste of time. What's your theory?
Come on, Mal. Tell us why we were dragged down here.
If the victim was alive when she entered the tub, water would have entered her lungs. The water is violently churned in the windpipe as she drowns. The result is that a lot of foam is generated. This foam is found at the mouth and nostrils in almost all cases of real drowning. Notice anything about our Vic?
May I took a look?
Be my guest.
Thank you.
Take a closer look at her head and neck.
Her neck is bruised pretty badly.
At least this one is dressed.
Bruising on the forearms, and these look like bite marks.
Very good.
Yes, because nobody could see.
Very unusual ring.
I could be wrong, but it looks like a black sapphire. The eyes are a classic sign of morphine, and the bruises tell their own story. I think one man held her down and another held her arm and injected her. They put her in the bath to try to cover it as a drowning.
It spread a trail of barbiturates.
Take a look around outside on your way out and see if you can find the Surretts. It would make my theory.
The morphine would have been very quick, and there wouldn't have been much of a struggle.
Okay, so find two guys who recently bought cigarettes and weren't junkies, and you might be onto something.
Her in these photos? Something else.
Doesn't tell me anything.
Miss Julie was...
A girl like that? Maybe she was having trouble with some boys, huh? She got her heart broken. Couldn't take it anymore. So she ran herself a bath and down some pills, and then she just drifted off.
Looks like barbiturates.
Julie, she always had so much fire. So much drive.
Barbiturates. What else is rattling around in this thing?
Okay.
I don't stop sneezing.
Quality English smoking jacket. I don't know anyone under 45 who would wear one.
I want to see this. But it's...
Maybe. No. This doesn't pertain to the case. This is all top end of town stuff. Gives us somewhere to look. There's been a modeling assignment. It's a place to start. Beautiful girl. Clothes certainly aren't from the Sears catalog.
Okay, it's just the old one.
I'm Detective Phelps. I'm here to try and help Julia. Do you mind answering some questions?
Virginia Reynoldson, I'm just so shocked. I feel like there's something I should be doing, someone I should call.
We can make those calls, ma'am. Who needs to be notified?
That's just it. I don't know. Miss Julie doesn't have any family in town. Someone has to set her affairs in order. Mr. Henderson, maybe?
Who's Mr. N?
I don't know.
If you give the details to the other detectives, ma'am, they can try and get in contact. Was Miss Randall depressed about something? Upset?
No more than normal.
So she wasn't mad at anyone in particular?
No, men were usually besotted with Miss Julia, not the other way around. I don't think Miss Julia was ever in love with anyone.
Do you do the housekeeping on a regular basis?
Twice a week since Miss Julie moved here from New York.
I know you're trying to protect Julia, Mrs. Reynoldson, but it won't help us solve the case. Julia can't be hurt anymore.
What do you want me to do?
speak to her doctor. Prescribing both drugs would make her life a roller coaster.
Ah, let me pass.
Stefan, Rusty, we'll take a look around outside and then follow up these leads. Can you get some guys to run down the jacket?
You think Carruthers has called it right?
He rarely gets it wrong.
I don't know. I'm a Galloway. I've met enough girls in my time who can't handle their dope.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Where are we going?
You can drive.
Bukowski, Galloway, quite the little reunion in there. Almost brought a tear to my eye.
They're good police.
How would you know? You got promoted so fast you barely had time to learn their names. Let me fill you in. Bukowski's a pushover. Galloway's a drunk.
You could learn a thing or two from both of them.
Please. They couldn't work a vice case if their life depended on it.
I don't see why they'd be any better or worse at it than me.
I noticed you said better. Hubris disguised as humility. Kind of your trademark, don't you think?
Why do you always twist everything? Galloway's got nothing to prove. He's been on homicide for years.
And he's welcome to it. You're a terrier, Phelps, and that's what I need. Not some old bulldog who can't get up a flight of stairs without coughing up his lunch.
Such a nice area.
Well, hello. What can I help you?
LAPD, ma'am.
I hope I haven't done anything wrong.
No, ma'am. We're making some inquiries about Julia Randall. Does she work here?
No, I had to let her go. Is she in some sort of trouble?
She was found dead this morning. How long had Julia worked as a model?
Well, she worked in New York before coming here. She was a very beautiful girl.
Could you tell us why you let Miss Randall go?
Husbands sometimes come in here with their wives. When Julia Randall modeled, the husbands were often more interested in her than they were
After
their wives'
this, I go.
dresses. The wives weren't happy, and neither was I.
Did she have any close friends here?
Actually, yes. Heather Swanson. Would you like to speak with her?
I'd like that very much. Please don't inform her about Miss Randall's death.
Very well, officer. Heather, these gentlemen are from the LAPD.
I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. I understand that you worked with Julia Randall, Miss Swanson?
Yes. Julia helped me get my job here. She's not in any kind of trouble, is she?
She's a hellraiser, isn't she? Lives a fast life.
Oh, no. Maybe Mrs. Stanley would call her that, but I wouldn't. She's full of life, a wonderful company.
That's a lovely engagement ring.
Do you like it? Henry gave it to
I'm
me.
very interested in engagement rings. Do you mind if I take a closer look?
Hi.
That's some pearl, Miss Swanson. Would have cost Henry a fortune. He must really love you. How did you meet Julia?
I was introduced through my fiancé, Henry Arnett.
Henry is your beau. Tell us about it.
Yes, he is. Henry has a fashion business. He and Julia have been friends for years.
Are Miss Randall and Mr. Henderson engaged?
Who's he?
Look, lady, you need to give me something. Do you know anybody who would have cause to harm Julia?
No. Really, Mr. Phelps. Julie is my friend. I don't know why anyone would want to hurt her. She's okay, isn't she?
That's all for now, Miss Swanson. Could you ask your fiancé to visit Hollywood Police Station? It would be very helpful to our inquiry.
Now, wait a moment. I don't think I'll pass on that message until you tell me why you're asking all these questions.
Julia Randall was found dead this morning.
What?
You give this new and just...
Oh, no.
Bye!
Oh, I can't believe it.
You know?
She was so full of life.
And I told you, and he left. He just left.
Can you go to this one?
He just left
Right,
and like,
where
I
to?
don't care.
Nice move not telling old Sweet Lips in there about her friend taking the big jump till we were half out the door. Very slick.
I figured we'd get more out of her that way.
You're learning, Phelps. We'll make a vice cop out of you yet.
Here, Stoneman, office 505.
But I can go from here.
I swear, if we locked up every doctor in this town, Vice would be able to work half days.
I was drinking, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir, your name?
LAPD. We'd like to see Dr. Stoneman.
Dr. Stoneman is with a patient. Would you like to wait?
No, we wouldn't. Tell him we want to see him now.
There's no need to be rude.
Save it, sister.
Dr. Stoneman, I have some gentlemen from the LAPD here to see you.
Send them in, please.
Yes.
I'll see his face again after they left.
I did indeed. Oh, look.
Your investigation is much more important than my sciatica. I'm just in pain here. Leave me alone.
Dr. Stoneman, we are investigating the death of one of your patients, Julia Randall.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Do you mind if we ask you some questions about Ms. Randall?
Not if it doesn't compromise doctor-patient privilege, Detective.
How well did you know Miss Randall?
Barely at all. She'd only been a patient 6 months or so.
You didn't like her, did you?
It wasn't a question of like, Detective. She was incredibly beautiful. When you looked in her eyes, you knew how a mouse felt before a snake. Not an ounce of warmth there.
You wrote Julia Randall a prescription for Benzedrine. How can you account for that?
Miss Randall was in the fashion business. She wanted to control her weight.
He wants to control, but he gives like sleepy pills.
She didn't appear to have a weight problem.
She had a self-esteem problem. Miss Randall felt her only control over her life was through her appearance.
We often find the more obstructive people tend to be, Dr. Stoneman, the more they have to hide. Operator, give me dispatch.
Oops.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Messages for me, please.
Yes, Detective. The coroner's been asking to speak to you. I can connect the call if you like.
Please, thank you. Al?
Cole, can you get over here? I just finished the autopsy.
Sure thing, Mal. We'll be right over.
Next time I kill you.
It doesn't appear to be connected. Circumstantial.
Next time I appear here, I kill you.
The old boy is lying.
About what?
I don't know. He looked relieved when you said she was dead. That's a strange reaction to have to the death of a young patient.
Yes, he's lying. I think is the problem.
The same goes for volunteer. Take Linux Sphere, for example. Perfect for quitting time. Or any time.
Have you noticed how croakers only pull out the physician-patient privilege card when they got something to hide?
There are certain things people have a right to keep private.
Until it gets in the way of police work. And it's only private when it suits them. A couple of drinks and every doctor I've met will spill your darkest secrets in a heartbeat.
Where is it?
Cole, Roy, I have some information for you.
You're the only person enjoying this, Mal. Get on with it.
The bruising confirms 2 sets of hands, so we have 2 killers. Death was caused by heart failure due to an overdose of morphine.
Have you dragged us down here to gloat? We already heard your theory.
We agree that she was murdered.
Yes, of course.
I have something else to show you.
All right, Mal, what gives?
The dead guy's name is Jimmy LeBlanc, career burglar. He came in this morning. Someone stove his head in with a lump of 2x4.
So what? Good riddance.
I found 2 cigarettes in his jacket pocket.
Wow.
Hang on a minute, Roy. We're listening, Mal.
No sign of morphine use and no metabolized morphine in his blood. Scratch marks on his face.
Which could be from getting his head remodeled.
Time of death, Mal.
Maybe an hour or 2 after the Randall girl.
So you're saying Laughing Boy here could be one of our killers? That's a hell of a long shot.
Thanks, Mal. We'll check it out.
I found something else.
Sorry, I don't play.
I don't know if it's significant. His wallet was empty. The only other things he was carrying were the harmonica and the morphine. Carruthers. Yeah, he's here. I'll send him over. They have a guy called Henry Arnett in interview 2 for you next door. Let me know how you get on.
Sure, Mal. And thanks for the lead.
Sure, Mal. Thanks for the lead.
This guy is so rude. I think it's in front, literally. Oh, look! Guilty.
That bum took a swipe at me, I put him down with my sap.
Oh, it's here.
Mr. Arnett, I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. Thanks for coming in.
Call me Henry. It's the least I could do. Terrible news about Julia.
How well did you know Julia Randall?
Vaguely. I'm in the clothing business, and Julia occasionally modeled for me.
No. You need me to sign some papers or something? Is interview too free? No, I'm younger.
I don't know, I have a feeling that is lying. But I'm going to say it's true.
And you were close?
We were friends.
Not lying.
Miss
Anymore.
Randall's landlady said she was seeing an older man.
Could have been. I wasn't privy to all the details of Julia's private life.
Do I need to fill this out?
Spill it, Henry. You know nothing about a man named Henderson?
Yes, you're right. Henderson, yeah. Very distinguished.
How about a first name, wise guy? An address, maybe?
I'm sorry, I don't. I think he lives somewhere out of town. Somewhere back east.
Is anybody making coffee soon?
Ever heard of a Jimmy LeBlanc?
No. Should I have? Is he an entertainer or something?
I'm no yeg. I scat the trash. Is that so wrong?
So you wouldn't have any reason to believe that LeBlanc would be involved in Julia Randall's murder?
If this guy is a criminal, he might have been involved. But like I said, I've never heard of this LeBlanc character.
Heather told us that you were in fashion.
That's right.
I want to make homicide. You know you made it.
Some kind of traveling salesman?
Once I got out of the Corps, I used my...
You were in the Marines?
Sure. I'm proud of it. The Fighting Sixth.
You were in the 6th Marines?
Yes. I was a captain.
Which company?
Various companies. We had a lot of casualties.
Which engagements?
Okinawa. A couple of other places.
That will be all for now, Henry. You've been very helpful.
He's lying.
That son of a bitch was never in the Marines. Why'd you let him off the hook?
Because we're giving him a couple of minutes before we start tailing him. Arnett is an amateur. We need to find out who killed the girl.
The guy just passed through me.
Can you pass this on to Bukowski? Have him check the place out and go through his records.
Sure, I'll pass it on.
Thanks. Can you also have R&I run the records on a Jimmy LeBlanc and find out who was his last arresting officer? Have them get in touch via KGPL when they have some information.
He's in that car at the lights.
He was squirming like a worm in there. Don't you love it when they pull the war hero excuse? Actually, maybe you don't.
Oh!
You got a pretty funny idea of what keeping a low profile means, Phelps.
I'd have expected a cad like Arnett to be a better liar.
Where are you taking us, Henry?
Careful, we'll get spotted at this distance.
That idiot never stepped foot in Okinawa.
He needs money and fast. Get in there and find out what he pawned. I'll stick with him, see how he intends to spend the money. Too much slack. I get closer.
Hoof it, Phelps. I'll bring the car around when I'm done here.
I go in a moment, I swear. After this mission, now that I start to disappear.
Move in. At risk losing the trail. That's right, Mexico City. One-way ticket, please. Next available seat.
That would be 1 day from now. Is that okay?
It's going to have to be. LAPD, the man who just came in here, he bought a ticket?
Yes, sir. To Mexico City, tomorrow night.
If you hear from him again, don't mention this conversation.
What have you got?
He bought a ticket from Mexico City tomorrow night.
That's good, but this is better.
Oh my God, it's Fabergé.
Should have seen the look on the pawnbroker's face when I told him to hand it over. The guy who owned the joint thought it was worth at least 10 large for a cigarette case. Arnett only got 600 clams.
You know the way. You can drive.
Do we know where we're going?
Car 11K, 11 King, come in.
Go ahead, KGPL.
11K, go to Hollywood Station. Homicide detectives Bukowski and Galloway have information relating to the Randall case.
Roger, KGPL. 11K, en route.
Car 11K, car 11 King, come in.
Car 11 King, go ahead.
R&I reports the last arresting officer for DOA Jimmy LeBlanc was Patrolman Fred Wallace, who's working a shift on Hollywood 9th Beat, Sunset Boulevard between Gordon and Wilcox.
Car 11K, en route.
Sir, I need the contraband list. Items stolen over the
Don't
last
me
year.
do it.
Hang on, I'll dig out a copy for you. Here you go.
Thanks.
Is the cigarette case on there?
I didn't want to arrest the kid, so I gave him a dusting he wouldn't forget.
It's here. Arnett must be out of his mind trying to move this while under a murder cloud.
You can't expect me to serve me right now, can you?
Seems Julia wasn't the first bored society girl to hide her bennies in that pillbox.
Hey, do you guys need to stick around with longer?
Even the engagement ring was purloined. Arnett is a cad.
Is interview 2 free? You left at midnight, correct? Negative. You need me to sign some papers or something?
I already found the case.
Will be too long at responsibility. You really think I'm gonna squeal?
Julia Randall's ring. It's here.
I'm gonna tell you something? I don't know who these are.
You're behind the wheel.
Fine, where are we headed?
I didn't come to California to be a secretary.
Come on, let's give him a hand.
Right behind behind you, Wallace. Detective Phelps.
Wallace, go left. I'm going right after this little prick in the alley.
Find some cover. Push forward. Stay in cover.
Done.
Thanks. Outstanding warrant, armed robbery. Knocked over a drugstore back there, and it looks like he brought his whole posse with him. Bad luck for them.
They're all yours now. We need some information. Ever heard of a burglar goes by the name of Jimmy LeBlanc?
Sure. They nabbed Jimmy on a burglary beef a couple of years back. They cut through a music shop and into a jewelry store. He got 4 years. I miss his partner, though.
His partner?
Big guy. I had him cornered, and he picked up this huge display case and threw it out a plate glass window. Then he vaulted out of there like something out of Barnum and Bailey.
Got away.
I would have had him, except for LeBlanc yelling, "Run for it, Willie!"
And you think he was an acrobat of some sort?
More like a strongman, a wrestler, or a boxer, that kind of thing.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
You haven't done too badly yourself.
Can you drive to this one?
All right, where to?
Why he spoke like the other guy?
You're suggesting LeBlanc is still working with Willie?
A strong man held down Randall while someone administered the morphine. Someone with muscle opened up LeBlanc's skull. Could be.
Hey, boss man!
Nice house.
LAPD, ma'am. Is Mrs. Eavestrom in?
She is. Would you follow me, sir?
I am Mrs. Eavestrom. How may I help you?
We appear to have recovered some stolen goods that belong to you, ma'am.
Yes, of course. That terrible burglary. Would you like something to drink?
No, thank you, ma'am. We have some questions, if you don't mind.
Why would I mind, young man? If you are returning 43 pieces of my property.
Okay, before we get down to that, I'll have a scotch. Thanks, straight up.
Maria, can you get the detective a drink, please?
Can you describe to us what was stolen?
It would be easier to describe what wasn't stolen, detective. A priceless tiara that has been in the family for 50 years. A Fabergé cigarette case that was worth $25,000.
We recovered a black sapphire ring.
A beautiful piece. It belongs to my daughter.
What can you tell us about the burglary?
That terrible night, at least a year ago, But let's not go into that. Let's talk about what you've recovered.
I get the sense that you're worried about something, Mrs. Eastrom.
I have already received the insurance claim, Detective. Is there any way we could keep the return of these items discreet?
That's about it for now, Mrs. Eastrom. The department will get in touch and let you know how you can recover your valuables.
You have only mentioned a few of the items that have been stolen, Detective. What else has been recovered?
You see, Phelps? That's why you get the drinks in early.
Hello, Mother. Hello, detectives. What is going on?
We'd like to ask exactly the same question.
You have met my daughter?
This morning at work. Oh, Mother and Father divorced. I took my father's name.
The detectives recovered some of the things that were stolen, darling.
Well, what did you find?
A sapphire ring on the corpse of Julia Randall.
What are you talking about?
Your engagement ring, Miss Swanson. Would you be surprised to know that it was part of the proceeds of a burglary?
That's an outrageous allegation.
Yes, it is. I suggest we go straight to Henry Arnett's place and sort this mess out.
Espicito! And I need to draw.
And now, news from Washington.
We're missing something here. Arnett is obviously arranging burglaries.
That's my fiance you're making scurrilous accusations about.
And Randall was obviously his partner.
But neither of them are the type to creep apartments.
You're being ridiculous. Both of you. There's a very good explanation for all of this.
Put a sock in it, sister. You're being played for a patsy and you're not even smart enough to see it.
Guys are dumb. I drive bad, but they drive worse. Go away.
Come on, sister. Let's find out who your fiance really is.
Welcome, sir. I'm sorry, are you a resident?
Doesn't exist.
Isn't this just nice and awkward?
Stop! LAPD! Don't kill him, Cole. This guy's our case.
Go on,
Put your hands in the air. Give it up, LAPD. Don't make me chase you. Looks like he got you good, Phelps.
Yeah, he really packs a wallop. How did I get back here?
Under your own steam, miraculously. You came in through the window, said hello, and then keeled over.
How was our net?
He's coming around, too. He's all hopped up. Good time to get some answers.
You missing something, Henry? You told Heather you're honeymooning without her? Vacheron Constantine. That's an extremely expensive watch, Henry. A graduation present from my parents.
Junk.
Junk.
Optimistic, Cole. Doesn't look like anything. I doubt it. Not sure this means much.
We know all about the jewelry ring. You and Randall and LeBlanc and Willie doing the legwork.
I'm in the fashion business.
You're lying, Henry.
How can you prove that I'm involved, detective?
Because you pawned a Fabergé cigarette case today for $600. A case that is on a list of stolen items.
It was Julia's idea. Get a list of society parties and find out where and when and then have the guests burgled. Julia was desperate for money. No matter how much we made, she always wanted more.
Why did Reed and LeBlanc kill Julia Randall?
I wanted to stop, to get out of that life. I was gonna marry Heather if she'd have me. Julia told the others that they were out. That she was gonna create a new gang.
Ah!
You're lying, Arnett. I think you ordered them to kill her. It was made to look like suicide, and when the coroner saw through that, you knew it was time to run.
I told you I was involved in the burglaries. I had nothing to do with Julia's death. Why would I need to run?
Have you told Miss Swanson that you're leaving for Mexico City tomorrow night? That it's a one-way ticket?
Henry? Tell me it isn't true.
I had no choice. I wanted to marry Heather. I told Julia I wanted out, and she laughed in my face. I had to pay Willie and Jimmy a fortune to do her, and now I'm completely broke.
What you are, Buster, is under arrest.
Who is Henderson, and what is his involvement?
Tell them what you know, Henry. I'll stand by you if you'll only tell the truth.
There is no Henderson.
He's lying.
Tell me about your first burglary, and don't lie.
I can't remember. I don't keep a list of these things.
You're off the hook, for now. Give it up, Arnett. You're facing the gas chamber. Give the judge some reason to commute.
You still don't get it, do you? Julia entrapped everyone. She was so beautiful, so goddamn cold.
Henry Arnett, you are under arrest for burglary and for the murder of Julia Randall.
Look at the
Henderson is Stoneman, all right? I'm not the guy you want. Go talk to the good doctor.
Oh, we will, knucklehead. Meanwhile, we're fitting you for convict stripes.
You know the way. You can drive.
Do we know where we're going?
I guess the wedding's off.
He only robbed her mother and killed her best friend. Cut the guy some slack.
So how does the doctor fit in?
That's what we're about to find out. Maybe we should ask him to give you a quick once-over. That meathead gave you one hell of a pasting.
I've had worse.
You should have seen yourself staggering back in there like a drunken sailor.
Next time you can take the runner, Roy.
I didn't box in the Marines, though, did I?
Should have never told you that.
Happy, you give me permission after this mission, before playing Paladins, me cutting the watermelon that I have, to eat. And you will not get mad, at least.
Time for the doctor to give us something to make this all better.
Hang on a moment, sister. Tell him it's Henry Arnett. And tell him it's urgent.
Before playing
I can't do
Paladins.
Tell him, or I'll charge you with obstruction of justice.
Doctor, I'm afraid Mr. Arnett is here to see you, and he says it's urgent.
Send him in.
And I mean, before Paladins, I
told
cut
you
the watermelon.
never to come. Tell us the truth, Doctor.
I'm so glad you came. Prison will be better than insanity, and I'm already half insane with grief. Do you know that I loved her? I ruined my life for her, and yet I still love her.
Will you testify in court that Arnett and Randall did these robberies?
They organized the robberies. Julie would get the names of the guests attending my wife's parties. Didn't matter how much money I showered upon her, it was never enough. She never really cared for me.
Doctor, I'm afraid you're under arrest.
Criminal! I'm kidding.
Oh, the practice. You'll call Dr. Gerard. No. Please don't cry. I want to see no one. Not my wife or my children, nor my friends. And I don't want a lawyer. Just lock me up and throw away the key.
I will do that.
What have I done?
Didn't see that coming.
The guy didn't see that coming. This guy has... I have a love-hate for him. He's such a good character because it's ironic all the time. It's not even... Get up!
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
I need an ambulance and the coroner immediately to the offices of Dr. Harold Stoneman, 1646 Ivor Street, Hollywood.
En route, Detective. You have a message. Detective Bukowski says the suspect is named Wilson Willie the Wolf Reed, former wrestler. Last known address is an apartment building at the corner of Hollywood and Vine. Detective Bukowski says to meet them there.
On our way.
Oh, stop crying. You
We have an
didn't
address
even
for the
like
runner.
them.
Let's try and wrap this up then.
That old boy really fell for that broad.
Oh, look, the comments that he gave. I mean.
Did you throw it all away for a woman?
Life has a way of making you pay for your pride.
You're quite the romantic, Phelps.
That's true.
Stick with the percentages. Broken hearts are for chumps.
Hurt the right one. Hurt the right one, and the wrong one will teach you how to love.
Oh, I like women as much as the next guy. As long as they're in their place.
Will teach you the pain, basically.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Where are we going?
I think his name is Phelps. I read about him in the paper.
He's around here somewhere. A big guy. Neighbors say he always wears basketball shoes and a cream jacket. And get this. The kids around here say he plays the harmonica.
Find a game well and have the commander set up a dragnet. We want the area closed off. We'll take this out of the street.
A harmonica playing wrestler. That's a weird one. Think he knits as well?
Keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. We don't want him to bolt on us.
Wait. Pull. You hear that?
Heard.
Wilson Reed, LAPD, give yourself up. Hold it. He's got to be around here somewhere. No place to go unless he grew wings. There he is! Waste the son of a bitch!
Okay, he doesn't die, what I see. Done. He doesn't die.
Son of a bitch really picked a spot for it up here, didn't he? Julia Randall's folks are flying in from New York tomorrow to claim the body. I saw her on the slab. So perfect. Looked like she was made of porcelain. She really made an impression on me.
Julia had that impact on a lot of men.
Christ, it's cold. You guys did good work here today. Roy, I think you should buy your brother officers a drink.
Do you now? That's very generous of you. Lieutenant,